Hey, so I want to talk about religious narcissists and how they're going to act like God is on their side of this whole no contact abuse situation. And it's based on my interaction with my aunt, who I think is a narcissist. When I told her that I was not coming to Christmas because my mother had abused me and I just needed a break from this family, her response was, "I'm going to pray that you come back to this family." And I remember I was terrified by that. I was like, oh my God, God is on my aunt's side and she is praying that I come back to the abusive family to continue being abused. And now she's recruiting God to help her. But that's not how this works. They're not actually religious. It's all just a front, because what I've realized now, this is all my opinion about God, I'm not claiming to know the absolute truth, but in my opinion, you cannot ask God to change someone else. All you can do is say, God, please help me understand, please help me change myself to be a better person, please help me, make better choices, please forgive me. Like, all you can do is work with yourself. You can't say, God, change that person. So if she's praying to God to change my behavior, God's not going to answer that prayer. If she said, God, please help me understand why my niece is leaving this family, then he could help her with clarity, because that's within her. But if she's saying, God, I want to stay exactly the way I am and not have this family change its dynamics at all, and I want my niece to come back to this family, God can't answer that prayer, because that's not how it works, right? To me, that's not how it works when you pray to God. You have to pray to change yourself. You can't pray to change other people. So, Ollie Matthews has said many times that he thinks narcissists are atheists, and I would agree. I think that they just use this God thing to make themselves look good. And my grandmother is like super religious, and that was part of why I thought she was a nice person. She's super involved in the church. She's in like all these church groups, and she like brings flowers to sick people, and like she just does all these nice things. So it's really confusing that you're like, oh, they're a narcissist, but they're super religious. And maybe my aunt's saying like, oh, she'll pray for me, but then she's implying that the problem is me. And again, like, you can't pray for somebody else because they're the problem. To pray for yourself, to change yourself. But she's never gonna do that, because she's no interest whatsoever in looking at herself or changing herself. So her prayer is just that I will stop speaking my truth about being abused and come back to the family so the dynamic can be restored and I will be the scapegoat again, and la-di-da, she is happy. But that's not happening. And that was all I wanted to say about that. I think it's pretty evil to use God in narcissistic abuse, because it's bad enough that we have a horrible relationship with our parents and our idea of human being, and then they bring God into it. So now you hate, sometimes you hate God because you're like, why is God doing this to me? But then sometimes you feel victimized by God, like you think God hates you because God's on the narcissist side and all this stuff. So religious narcissists are very dangerous, and it's taken me a long time to try to tease out what I actually believe about God versus what I was kind of either directly told to believe about God or kind of indirectly made to believe. Even my aunt's statement, I'll pray for you to come back to this family, it feels like a threat. I was terrified when she said that. I was like, oh shit, that means I can never leave. Because if God's on her side and God's gonna make me stay, like, it was very effective way of manipulating me, because maybe she knew that I had faith and that God's opinion of me, you know, mattered to me. I guess she knew that, and she knew that that was going to be a way to try to get me to stay and influence me. So narcs have no moral line. Like, they will cross, well, I mean, they've already crossed a bajillion line, but like, it continues to baffle me that they really seem to have no boundary of what they're willing to do. Like, it's not like they're saying, oh, these things I'm okay with doing, but not those things. Like, they're willing to use God to abuse a child. Like, you would think that that would be a step over the line, but apparently not. These people have no line. So they will use God to hurt you, and part of our recovery is to repair our relationship with this idea of God, and how God sees us, and the fact that God is not going to punish us for getting away from our abusers. So I hope this was helpful in some way, or you can at least feel validated if you've also had people say religious-y type things to you to justify their abuse, or saying like, I'll pray for you because you're the problem and I don't have to change myself. So, because I'm perfect and wonderful, obviously, because I'm a narcissist. And the problem is them. They are not praying for you because they care about you. They're praying for you because they don't want to look at themselves and they don't want to change themselves. So we can repair our relationship with the divine, or we don't have to believe in God. If you don't, that's totally fine. You can believe whatever you want to believe, and the challenge is really just to remove whatever the narcissist said to you that is like influencing your belief system in a negative way. So let me know if you have experienced a similar thing and how you've worked through that, if you have. And thank you for watching.